What's happening? Hopefully everyone's well. So I'd love to say quick update video. My videos are never quick, as you know. But yeah, I'm going to try and get this covered in the next. Honestly, I want to try and do it within 20, 30 minutes. I don't know if that's going to happen. The last one I think was 30. What was the last one? Yeah, 37. I reckon we can beat that, to be honest. If you did miss this, honestly, I would go back and watch it. It's going to be my quote tweeted, like this one is at the top right now. Um, it's going to be like here because the new video is going to be the exact same as this, just on top. But this is sort of just episode 2 in this series, really. I'm going to try and make an end of year video every year. But yeah, I might be a little bit rusty as well. I've not done one in the last 2.5 months, so I know I've just been very fucking busy, really. And I know a lot of people have been messaging me, and I keep saying I'm going to make one, I'm going to make one, and I've been saying I want to make it before we break out, and obviously now I've missed the breakout, it looks a bit poxy really that I've sort of waited for confirmation, but I want to go for a little recap anyway for the people that have missed last year's video. If you did miss it, honestly, I really would go back and watch it, mainly because you're just really going to get an update and a feel and really just follow where we have been at really and sort of what we've been looking at, to be honest. So I'd go back and watch it. To be honest, I'd really just say pause this now and go back and watch the video last year, then watch this. If you want to do it the other way around, you can, but I'm going to give a little recap anyway. But if you can, like, comment, subscribe, share it about. It does help. I'd like to say these videos take the piss. It's just a couple of hours of really prepping what I'm going to talk about, X, Y, Z, and then um, yeah, getting it done. I do try and this is the first take as well, so hopefully I can yeah, just do it all in one take. It gets fucking annoying when you know get in a loop and it's not perfect and you just try and make the video 15 times and it takes about 5 hours. So this is the first take. I'm going to try and do it as fast as I can, and like I said, if you can share it about. Yes, we will go into it. So, two sections I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about section 1, which is really just like a recap and explain where we are, really. And number 2 is why we're expecting the fifth, when alts are going to run, and all the other good stuff. But yeah, I would, this last little bit, then I will go into it. I do this. I spend the first 3 minutes just chewing your ear off a little bit, but I would, I'd watch the whole thing. I really, really would. I do think that again. I'm gonna recap for the first 5 minutes. I'm not trying to gloat. I couldn't really give a flying fuck really that's this price action has followed this the whole way. It was to be expected. Again, it might not have been, but obviously, as I did mention, I did. You know, the reason why I made it like this is because I wanted to give a concrete view and be very confident on what's going to happen. And I didn't want to just say, look, it could do this, it could do that, you know, which obviously it can, but I wanted to give you my concrete view on the market and what was I expecting, so that's why. And I'm at this point again. Again, I do wish I did bring this out prior to the yeah, to this third of the 6/3, but I'll get into that. Um, but yes, let's just go through it really. All right. Any questions after? Literally just message me on Twitter or comments. Fuck me, 3.5 minutes that's took. Jesus fucking Christ. So this will be the pin tweet. If you want to go back and watch it, you can watch it. But essentially, this is what we was expecting. All right. I've not moved the line whatsoever. If anyone starts saying that, I've literally just left everything as it is. And then yeah, so that's obviously what was expecting. Go and watch that if you like. All right. And then where were we? So we changed the count a little bit. We did actually think that this was going to be the top back in when was it? September last year. It says yeah, September last year. We did expect the top to be at the end of the year, maybe a little bit ahead, around March time, we did say, but I've pushed that back and we pushed it back around here. All right, did mention here around 6 or 7 months now. Prior to here, it was around here that we was mentioning that it's probably going to be here. I just left this photo in just for the, you know, sort of lapping it up a little bit, victory laps that obviously we drew it out and it was sort of perfect. So just left that in. But we did show that the new 3, that was the 3 and the 4 we had previously, and the new 3 and the 4. And we did mention down here as well, I was speaking to someone about this could obviously be sharp. And if it is, then that's going to obviously lead more into an extension. And that's when I did see this, obviously, sharpness of the wave 4. You do normally come flying out for a wave 5, and that's what we have been doing. And it is full on extended, and I can show that as well. So that's why we did change the top target, obviously, till April. And obviously, we posted this here as well because we wanted to, you know, gives more confirmation that now we've got the sharp move, we probably are going to get an extension. That doesn't always happen. It's just, yeah, how it was all playing out and how we hit the 1.618 and not a 2.0 multiple, which I thought was going to get 2.0. 1.618, that gives us more room again for it to be extended, because that third's not actually got to where we was, not where I was expecting, but just at a higher point. If this did go a little bit higher and we sideways here, people are going to start selling around here as opposed to a little bit higher. I know it might be a bit backwards, but yeah. And then, yeah, this is really what we've been expecting. So I just had to, give it a little pause there, because I just wanted to just have a look to where we were on the last video, and we was down here. So obviously down at lows, we was expecting obviously the expanded flat, and we did come down here. Obviously on Bitcoin as well, we came down here with the A, the B, and the C. Now I can just zoom in before we, yes, we've got your ABC. It's actually WXY more than likely, but that was obviously, where are we? Yes, that's down here. And then obviously we just kept making 1-2s, 1-2, that's just a general zigzag. We had a running flat. Obviously we was mentioning the running flat. I think I've deleted one as well. I must have. But yeah, we was expecting the running flat down here, and obviously showing from the low here, a squiggly line up. And then we was expecting a tiny little, sort of wave 2 here again, but this wave 2 ended up being tiny. They're never normally like that. But obviously got the running flat. We've come up, and then we mentioned we're either going to get the full blown, which is obviously the I mentioned before, we're sort of the parabola stage. We're either going to get that fat ass greenie, or obviously we're going to pull back, and obviously we just melted straight through there, and we held that line as well, which was quite nice. Again, I'm not sort of gloating, I just want to go over a recap, because a lot of people won't have, if you're watching this, you might not have been following or keeping up with what was expecting, what I was expecting, etc. Essentially what it is just a third of a third of a third. I'm going to try and find that. Let me just delete some of these. So essentially you've got 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. So this is the third of a 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 third. So it's actually of 6 thirds, which is fucking mental. And that's why we jumped up and we had our fattest. And I did mention literally a few days before this that we're going to have the fattest green candle that we've had on the daily, because of how many 1-2s that we had, and we actually did end up having the largest closed candle in Bitcoin, which was quite nice. So this is essentially where we are now. I'm just going to quickly wrap up this. I can probably talk about this later on. Yeah, I can probably talk about this later on, to be honest. All right, but that's essentially where we are. We've obviously got this sharp wave 4, and now obviously we're flying out, and we're going to get an extended 5th wave. Now, just wanted to have a little look back at my notes. I'm going to have to pause it a couple of times. Honestly, I'm a little bit rusty. I've not made one of these for a while, and I've just got the notes typed up on the computer and then just, put it on my phone, and so I'm just going to relay it over. But yeah, that's really just the recap. But again, if you want to watch the previous video or any previous videos, go back and watch it. So we got the sharp wave 4, and now we're flying out. So why did we change back here and especially here as well for us to come up here and not here anymore? Now, if you look at this doesn't look like we're getting a blow off top if we top in April next year. It doesn't look like it at all, to be honest. It really, really doesn't. Like, what I'm expecting is like this, really, for us to just come up like this, just sideways up, sideways up, sideways up. And I'm going to show something quite interesting and telling from this area down here as well, about with alts, etc. But I'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so we've got the, let's just zoom in, sorry. So yeah, we've got the extension. Now going into that, it doesn't look like it's going to be parabolic, does it? Now most of the move for Bitcoin, honestly, has pretty much already happened. Now you could get a 2x out of this, if that, really. Now this third of a third of 6 thirds has happened. Honestly, I can't see us getting more than 70% on Bitcoin. Most of the parabolic move is already done, and what's starting to happen now is just what's happened on all previous impulsive waves when we bolt up, is when Bitcoin does pull back, it's had a little pullback. Look across the board. This isn't just this, like this is, everything has took a massive fucking shite, because what happens is, which is the chart that you can see in the positive, Bitcoin dominance. I'm actually very happy that this has made one last high. I really wish I tweeted about this. I'm going to show another chart later, but we wasn't expecting this to be the high, even though we knocked down. I saw a lot of people saying, right, that's it, alt season. I'm not joking. I was not thinking that whatsoever. I was thinking this is a trap. Where once we pump out of a third, we're going to make one last high and just keep going. And everyone's then going to be thinking, fuck me, this is well bullish. Like we've dipped so hard here, we've just come shooting straight back out. And a lot of people think that this is very bullish. In my opinion, this is now we're getting towards a top, and this is going to start rolling horribly. All right, but I'll just quickly go back to Bitcoin. All right, so this doesn't look like it's going parabola. If you look at it like this, it definitely fucking is, especially if you're looking on a weekly time frame. If you're looking like this and you're not looking at it on log scale, again, I'm stretching out here. I could put it like this, but it's parabolic. It's only when you put it on log scale, because of how big the numbers are up here. I know 120,000 is not really a big number, nearly 130k or 100k or whatever, but because it's taking a lot of liquidity, we can't just go up straight like this, sort of like that. Essentially, we are going to do that, but not when we're not on log scale like this. When we get up to these numbers, maybe like here and here and here, because you don't need as much to push it up. But you're talking $100,000 a coin now. It's starting to, it's starting to take its time with the liquidity that's in the market. All right, so it looks like it's not going to be absolutely parabolic, but when you take it off of this, obviously, it is parabolic. Now, why did we change it to be here and obviously not here a couple of times? Now, I'm going to show you the reasoning for my top target. This is Bitcoin over the last, nearly 15 years? Now, from inception, you've had, Jesus fucking Christ, this chart. So you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, A, B, C, D, E. You've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. Sorry, 1, 2, wave 3. Oh, no. 1, 2, then a 1, 2, then a 1, 2, 3, 4, then a 3, 4, then 5, yep. And then you've got wave 2, then you've got wave 3, then wave 4, then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is obviously when we was down here, expecting obviously your last high. But yeah, then obviously you've got your fifth wave extension. Bitcoin loves, and it's like commodities, it just keeps printing fifth wave extensions, and that's why we was explaining before about if we get an extension, we're going to be going way over 100k, and I do believe that, so it definitely now as well. Now, this is why we've been expecting the top to be April, and we've pushed it a little bit ahead. Now, if you take this, you put this, sorry for coughing, a 1.618 extension times the distance of wave 1, so wave 1, all right, wave 1 all the way to wave 4. Where does the 1.618 extension take you out to? Takes you out to roughly around March, right? Yeah, you can say coincidence. That's fine. In fact, you know what? One thing I actually never did look at. What about waves 1 through 3? I'm actually doing this. I've not even looked at this. Maybe not, but no, that's fine. Because it is normally just the wave 1 extension. I just thought it might be a 0.50 as well, but fucking no chance. I'll explain that. Show another thing up here with a 0.50 as well. But yeah, so 1.618 extension times the time distance of wave 1 to from wave 4. Now you come out to obviously here around March time. Now people are going to think, right, well, mate, that's just a fucking, it's just a bit of a coincidence. Well, you can call it a coincidence, in my opinion. I've seen it a lot of the time where wave 1 does extend the same in time and the same in distance, like this did, right? You do wave 1 to wave 2, where did this go to? This went to a 2.0 multiple, pretty much on the button. Now, if you do it not just in time, but in distance as well, so you go wave 1, wave 2. Again, I know this video is going to take a little bit, a little bit longer, but it's just going to give you hopefully a little bit of knowledge as well and a little bit more of an insight into Elliott Wave. This is more detailed stuff. Don't get into Elliott Wave and start twatting this on every fucking chart, because you're just going to confuse yourself and you don't need to do it. You really, really don't. But higher time frame stuff, I've found that more than not that this stuff is, honestly, it's incredible, to be honest. But yeah, so if you've got a 2.0, not just of time, but in distance, look at this. This is your 2.0 line in time, and this is your 2.0. So really, that's there. Look where the top came in. The top came in there, right? You can do this a lot on a lot of. It is better on higher time frame, but honestly, it works so good on the lower time frame as well. But yeah, higher time frame is very telling. You can do it with this as well. Look at wave 1 through wave 2. That is absolutely terrible. Look at wave 1 through wave 2. Obviously, you got around the 1.618, and you take it in time as well. And this is how we've sort of drawn this out as well. So, I'd love to say it's by magic, guys, but with obviously Elliott wave analysis there's nothing better. If you're getting into trading, in my opinion, you should be doing nothing less than doing Elliott wave analysis. Again, that's around here. The top's coming around here. All right. Again, people can say coincidence. That's fine. But yeah, I've been on these charts now for a very long time, number of years, and again, you sort of see patterns. And I just want to show you more things. So why sort of the top in April? So that was what I showed you before. Obviously, you've got a wave 1 through 3 extension. You project that to wave 5. All right. Now, where does a 1-to-1 measurement of 1 through 3 take you? 3 also takes you to around March. All right. Now, you can obviously do the same with these waves as well. So you've got wave 1. You project that to wave 4. Where does a 1.618 extension take you? Just like I showed with the big wave 1. 1.618 of wave 1 in time because you're getting an extended. Okay, so I'll show you why I'm expecting this as well. I can put this to here. So 1.618. Obviously 1.618 brings us up to, so that does bring us up to 150k. So this is my absolute top target. You're looking at 150k, but I do think it might be somewhere in the middle region again. If it keeps pushing up, you're going to get roughly around 150k. It's actually quite interesting because back here, I actually said my top target was going to be around 145. I didn't think we was going to make it to 150. That was just a bit of a gamble. If anyone remembers, I kept bragging, not bragging, I don't know why I said bragging, but I kept sort of just saying about it's going to be, around 145. I think we're going to smash through 100 and, get up close to 150. Everyone's going to be expecting it and looking for it. And, we're just going to flop from there. So I don't actually think we will get 150. I think we'll get a little bit less personally, maybe just undershoot that. But again, 1.618 of wave 1, where does that take you out? That takes you out to March. Where does it take you out? Up here. So it takes you out here. Right, so it takes you out here. Right. Again, you can obviously go even further with this as well, and you can start doing it in these subwaves as well when you start getting to the highs. Again, you can do the same thing. You do waves 1 through 3. Obviously project it. Fuck off, I keep choosing that. You do waves 1 through 3. Where even is the top of wave 3? Yeah, waves 1 through 3. Obviously a 0.50. It can either be, and I know people are going to say, Jesus, well, there's a lot of fucking leeway with it, and there is. You can either do a 0.382, a 0.50, or a 0.618 of waves 1 through 3. Or it can be a 1.0 multiple. That's generally, you don't really get anything, sort of higher than that, but it is quite nice when you see in the middle of here, especially being a 0.50. And of wave 1, it's either the same or it's a 1.618. All right, that's normally. Again, when I make my course, because I'm going to be bringing out a course early next year, honestly, you guys, you're going to have all of my rules, everything that how I trade, just everything really, everything about, I'm not going to fucking shill that on this video. You can fucking worry about that later on, but it's going to be interesting and you're going to learn a lot about, trading, Elliott wave and all the Fibonacci's and everything and all this time. I can't remember what we call it, time Fibonacci analysis, and all those bits and bobs as well. All right, but that's essentially why we're expecting this top around here, really just Fibonacci times, extensions, everything in relation to that. So, all right. But right, what else do I need to fucking cover? I need to cover alts and etc. But I'll just quickly try and finish this off. So that's really why we're expecting it. Mainly Fibonacci analysis with wave 1, wave 3, obviously the higher time frame as well. Everything in my opinion, even this, just looks great to point to a top in April. I just think I just think even in time, everything especially even more now so as well. Essentially what we're going to have is, so that's really, with Bitcoin, I'm probably just going to keep this in here. I'll probably just keep this and just sort of save it. Just as, a little trophy of, maps out, sort of perfect with it, but yep. So now what we're going to get is, so this is the trap. This is the Bitcoin trap that everyone is going to fall into, of why I said that I didn't think, and I didn't. I think that when we slammed down, I was like, this is going to be such a fake out and we're just going to pump to the highs. Because of what I'm going to show. So I'll just save this now. I'll go to the week main. Give me a second. And where are we? Right, we're up here. So when alt season. So I've covered everything, gone for a recap, gone through why we're expecting the top to be there, everything. I'm going to show the subwaves in Bitcoin in a second as well, but yeah, that's really it. If you want to learn more on that, you can obviously have a little Google, or yeah, like I say, I'll be bringing out a course later on next year, so early next year. So yeah, I'll be covering everything. Now, in relation to what I just showed you there on Bitcoin of why we're going to do that squiggly line I just drew sideways up, as you can see, look, 3, 4, 5, which is 3. So 3, sorry, so it's going to be wave 5. So look, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and it's just going to be like that all the way up. It's going to be higher than this, in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully we can get to around 130 or 150, hopefully, depending on how high this goes. It could even just go a little bit, you never know, like if this just stays here, this could just go 5, 4, and then 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and just really top out around 100k. You never know, but the way that some of the alts are shaping up, I think, like we're having slams like this is going to be turning green in the next, honestly, probably the next day or two. It's probably the next good few hours. Not probably good few hours, but over the next, I'd probably say probably tomorrow when we get a new daily close. This is all going to be turning green in my opinion. All right, but it's down here. So when alt season. So we had, where is it? I'll try and find. Is it this? Let me try and find it. Give me a second. It was that. I was just hiding the drawings. So if anyone remembers back here, we was expecting, this is actually a drawing that I drew out. You can go back and look at my Twitter back in October 27th of October 2023. Did a post around here saying, honestly, if you're in Bitcoin right now, get the fuck out. You want to be in alts. Now, I will show you what is going to be coming up here, but in Bitcoin, and I've been mentioning this throughout shitloads of videos, and the only one time it's not really happened is here because we got a really long, drawn-out Bitcoin, and it was very sharp, and alts just really bled into it and shit the bed. And also because we didn't really grind and go up, we actually was grinding sideways, and we dumped fucking pretty hard, and it was, yeah, sort of chaotic. And it's also quite nice that this is your low of wave 4 as well. I just want to show this. How people aren't seeing, like, there's a few people that are thinking that this is not bullish. In my opinion, this is such a bullish chart. Like, you've come down to a 0.382 here, bang on the button. All right, so that's obviously a flat to A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's obviously what we showed here. Obviously, you've got your A, B, C, and then I don't know why I even thought of a triangle really in hindsight, but that's that. Then obviously you've got your wave 4 here as well, which you've come to the 0.50, bang on the button. When you come to the 0.50, that's where you want to go to. If you get it has to come, it doesn't have to, it's not a verbatim rule, but you really want to see if you're getting a sharp wave 4 and instead of it being sideways, which is normally the case, you normally get a sharp wave 2 and uh, like a sideways, sharp wave 2 and a sideways wave 4, but you want to see it come down to the 0.50, and in this case we smacked it straight on the button. We've come flying straight out, which is always what you want to see, really. You really do want to see that. Again, it's not a verbatim rule, but when you get a sharp wave 4, you want to come flying out for wave 5, and it's good to see that we have, and it's an extension. So again, the fucking fourth time I think going to this part. So when alt season, if you remember back here, I actually showed that what we're going to get now, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, then we had 1, 2, then 3. Then I said 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And then that creates obviously an impulse. Now we did end up getting an extension because this was your mini wave 1, wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, then 5. Then you had wave 4. So this is actually your wave 1. This is your wave 1, wave 2. Then this is your wave 3. This is your wave 4, which can happen. It can be a massive wave 4 sometimes, which is what happened here with Bitcoin. Obviously, you had your wave 2 here. If you remember, you had your wave 2. It doesn't happen all the time, so don't fucking, you had obviously your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, a bigger wave 4, much bigger wave 4 than this. Obviously, in this, you can see it in actual time. So this time is actually the same in them pretty much 1-to-1, pretty much in time. It's a few days, about a week out in time. All right, so that's obviously looking good. But yeah, just going back down to this. Sorry I do this, but I just want to show you some, bit of guidance as well and a bit of knowledge in Elliott wave. But yeah, then you got your wave 4, then you came out, and if you remember me showing previously, you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, triangle 4, then A, B, C, D, E, and then another, obviously your 5th wave there as well, and that was another extended 5th wave. Constantly getting fucking extended 5th waves. They're like fucking commodities. So last time, this is it, I'm just going to get straight in now. So we had sideways. When we was going sideways, I was saying here back in October last year that get out of Bitcoin and get in alts. Now, this is why. Let's go to, we'll go to Solana. I'm going to show a fair few charts with this anyway. In fact, is Sol a good one to show? I'll try and show a few large caps and a few, yeah. So, we had, let's just mark this out. So we had, we'll do 23rd, and then we'll do this, we'll do 5th of December. Do you know what? We'll mark a few bits out, and then we'll do 11th of Jan. So those are the 3 dates, right? So 23rd of October was here. Let's just say it's there. That's fucking rough average, isn't it? And the 5th, what's that? 5th of December. You got the 5th of December here, and the 11th of January. So, sorry for my throat, Jesus Christ. If you look here, Bitcoin is not doing anything. Sideways up, sideways up, sideways up. Bitcoin actually, in this whole time, let's just call it till the top here. Let's just say to the top here. Bitcoin rose 40%. Right, now this is Solana. This is one of the largest caps, right? Solana, on the other hand, rose 270%. Now, Bitcoin went sideways. I've shown this so many fucking times, right? So many times. When we get up to the parabolic move, and this is why the Bitcoin dominance is going fucking nuts. See, now we're getting to the juicy stuff. If you've stayed around, you're going to want to keep watching, in my opinion. So, my throat's fucked, man. Honestly, I've not done one of these in ages. The second I do one, I can't fucking breathe. Now, when we started, if you remember from previous videos and a lot of the time, when we start getting up to the highs, of the 4 5s, 4 5s, 4 5s, like we did here, all right, 4 5, 4 5, 4 5, 4, and obviously we're consolidating and going up. That is when your alts are going to be running. All right, give me a second. God, I just needed to clear my throat out. Jesus Christ, I'm just very dry when I'm. Yeah, when we're fucking half an hour into these, I should try and keep them 10 minutes, but I just love chewing your fucking ear off. So anyway, we'll try and speed it up a little bit because I'm dilly-dallying here. I do feel like I've gone a bit slow this video, for fuck's sake. But this is what happened, right? And this is where we are now on a larger scale. And I've shown this multiple times. Right now, we're at that point. We're at that parabolic third of a 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 third. There's the same here. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5 4 5, and then this is your large 4 to this 1 2, and you've got another extended 5th. We're here. We're going to start doing this now. Sideways up, sideways up, sideways up, and this is not going to be going parabolic. I say, and this is the whole reason for the trap. Everyone thinks that because this has gone absolutely nuts and Bitcoin's breaking out, that Bitcoin is going to be continuing. It's not going to happen. In my opinion, if you're in Bitcoin, you know what, do what you want. One thing I was wrong about Bitcoin, I'll hold my hand up when I'm wrong. You know, guys know I hold my hand up. I was wrong about one thing with Bitcoin. Get out of alts. I got out of my Bitcoin here. Get out of alts. Bitcoin and get into alts here. I was wrong because we ended up getting a sharp move down, even though I did mention it down here that we could be sharp. I just did not expect, regardless of sharp or sideways, I thought that the alts were going to go nuts. But because this wasn't going sideways up, sideways up, sideways up, not sideways up, sideways up, sorry, because this wasn't creating a triangle formation, which is essentially just sideways contracting, it was actually, as you can see it, sort of bridging downwards really. It's just sort of sloping downwards and creating like a bull flag, which essentially that's what zigzags are, bull flags. I'll shit the bed. Okay, with this isn't going to be the case now. Now we're up here, this is literally going to be just sideways up, sideways up, sideways up, and Bitcoin dominance is going to start tumbling down. If you want to stay in Bitcoin, fuck me, I can't even think. If you want to stay in Bitcoin, do it, but in my opinion, you're going to get side-footed. And again, this is showing that obviously it's going up, but in fact, I'm going to show you the chart quickly. This is a chart. This is where I actually put this box. I put this box in here around about a month. Where was that? It was about here. It was about here, and I put this box in. And I was thinking, right, we're going to have one more push up here, have that parabolic leg. We actually showed this. I may as well get to this now. I'll show that later. But we showed this back here 2 years ago. Pretty much bang on 2 years ago now, yeah. This was back in September. Yeah, November time. Yeah, this was back in November time, and we were showing that this is obviously going to have an impulsive move up. I expected Bitcoin dominance to not reach. I was mentioning I don't think we're going to be reaching much higher than around 55%. That's what I was mentioning at the time, and we did go a little bit higher, but this is essentially where we are now. So we've come all the way up, we've followed this, and we've come into this last region. In my opinion, this is going to reject here. We've not got much higher. We could come a little bit more higher into probably the mid zone. But essentially, you've got a very, very, very strong area of supply, really. And we've come into this now, and even this volume profile, it's all just fucking everyone up the arse, to be honest. And everyone's going to go straight down the shit pan because people are just going to be staying in Bitcoin because we've had that impulsive move up. But what I'm about to show you next in a second is, again, people are just going to get wrong-footed. They're staying in the wrong sector. They're staying in the king because it's popped up. But yes, people are just going to be getting fucked in the ass. So I'll go back to it. God, just give me some fucking feedback on this if you can, because I feel like I just explained the same thing. Yep, I feel like I explained the same thing. That's going to go off again in another 8 minutes, but hopefully I've wrapped it up by then. I do feel like I explain the same thing sometimes, but hopefully you like how I do them. If you can, just be honest. Just tell me, say, whitey, mate, or either fuck up and just get on with it, or I actually like you when you take the piss and dilly-dally a little bit, but... Anyway, so... Fuck me, man. So, we'll do a few others. So we've got AVAX. This is one that I showed previously on a post. I'll mark out the 3 lines just to show. It's just going to give you more data on the sort of alt season sort of thing. So here, that's there. We're going to go to there. I'm looking at the left chart to do this. That's there, and then that is there. So what happens here? A few things. All right, you can even show here as well after if you want, but again, that's, just following it. This is mainly what I want to be looking at because this is like a full, like you can count this as sort of like an impulse, even though the whole thing is, but yeah. So down here, right, Bitcoin, again, we'll go up to it. So you've got we'll go to here, about 30%, right, to this date here, right. Bitcoin, once it's get up here, which is where we're at, obviously at the top, hopefully you're catching up by now. I've only said the same thing 6 times. But yeah, what happened with AVAX? 260% move. You can argue 400% move. These are fucking large caps. These are top 10 cryptos. I'm not talking about some of the fucking small little caps with a few hundred million or a few billion that are going to go fucking bananas when we're at the top of when all the retail's coming in. I'm talking about fucking top 10 large caps. And people think that we're not getting an alt season or we're not, like, Bitcoin's taking over, blah, blah, blah. Fucking look at the charts, man. Try and work out what's happening. It's fucking obvious. It's so obvious. I'll cover a few others. I'll go over, maybe not whiff, maybe, let me just have a look at a couple of the others and I'll come back. Found another one here. This has actually been a very good, I've been trading this. It's been lovely. Been showing all sorts of levels. But anyway, we'll move on because if not, I'm just going to be doing the same fucking thing. Rune, again, another one. Right, what happened here? We actually bottomed out here when Bitcoin went mental, right? Where did we get to? Up here. This is, again, you need to bear in mind, this is, again, a top, what's this, 30 crypto? I think, something like that. But again, another 4x. These are large caps. Like, these are large caps that are going fucking nuts on a move of Bitcoin that is moving 10 fucking to here. We've only moved fucking 15%. And some of these are going absolutely, like, look at that. That's what some of them are doing. What do you think some of the small caps are going to be doing? It's fucking nuts. Now this is, I hate looking at this chart. I hate it. I absolutely fucked a trade up. I was in a trade here, literally here with a stop there. And for some reason, I pulled it. I got out of the trade, and anyway, we won't talk about that because I've got PTSD looking at this chart. But this one's a little bit different. When you've got the 5th wave extension, Some are going to top at different times, but again, you've got the same here, right? Bitcoin, if we go from here and we go to, let's say, the top, Bitcoin has a 90% move. Where's this? Yeah, we'll go down at the low. Yeah. Again, look, Bitcoin set off. Look at the look. So you've got, if you come here, Bitcoin's already set off a little bit while Pepe is actually going down. So this is what's happening now. This is a perfect example, actually. So look at both charts here as I do this, right? Pepe's going down. What's Bitcoin doing? That's making its wave one. And then obviously when we start busting up into its third, sorry, that's actually the first of the third. This is obviously when you start coming up. And then what happens after it's third of a third of a third? Sorry, third of a third. Obviously when we start going into it and when we start topping, this is when this starts going fucking nuts. So you've got an 89% move there. What did Pepe do? Pepe did a 12x. So again, this is just showing that you just need to be patient. Just be patient. You're also going to go nuts. Once Bitcoin goes sideways, sideways up, sideways up, sideways up like this, and people are just going to be thinking, wow, we're breaking out, and then we fall back into the range. Again, I drew this out beforehand. These are just a few examples. You can literally go back on charts and just look at these dates. You can look for yourself at all sorts. And you can obviously look and correlate over stuff as well. But again, people are going to be thinking, breakout, fall back in the range, breakout, fall back in the range, breakout, fall back in the range, bust up, come back down, and then obviously off we go. But amount of times we spent months, October all the way, we spent 3 months, 3 months there, and in that time some alts went nuts. There's a small window of opportunity when this shit happens. And a lot of people, they're just going to be wrong-footed. People think that this is it now. Bitcoin's off. We just need to be in Bitcoin. We're literally like here. This is just going to be going sideways up. Once this has gone up a bit, and then we start being into the 1, 2, the wave 3. Then we go wave 4, then wave 5, wave 4, then wave 5, and we just keep doing that. That's where you're also going to be shining. And again, if you look before, Pepe didn't even run until into its fifth. Some are going to be topping with Bitcoin. Some are going to top a little bit earlier than Bitcoin. Some are even going to be topping. Let's say we get something like this, right? Let's say we get something like this, right? Now, when we pull back and we do 5 waves, when this actually retraces like this is going to give another opportunity of probably a few months of also when it starts coming up to a wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, then wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. This is going to be another opportunity of obviously when alts run. Again, you've got a head and shoulders. All right, you've got a head and shoulders. You're going to meet that as resistance, then obviously come down. So a lot of people, they keep saying about when alt season, all this, all that, and people are quite scared on Twitter, and it's sort of baffling. Just look back at the chart and try and work something out. But this is when this is the time when alts run. Alts don't run into sort of, they run after, obviously we've got that third of a third, and I've mentioned this literally about 20 times in previous videos, and I mentioned it down here and I drew it out as well. Just want to make sure I've covered everything off as well. But that is essentially it. If you have stayed all the way till the end of the video, again, a lot of people have actually got a lot of entries into a giveaway, and it's going to be a pretty decent giveaway. But I'm going to explain that now, then I'm going to carry on with the video. So if some people try and skip to the end and try and find it, they can't. But yes, if you have watched this video, comment on Twitter. All right, just comment. All you have to comment is Bitcoin. That is it. All you have to comment is simply just Bitcoin, and you have to spell it like this. If you don't spell it like this, if you don't put it like that, then yeah, you don't get an entry. If you put it any other way, you don't get an entry. But yeah, nice to see my brother Cred is I'll have a look at all this after, but you just need to comment this on the post and then you get an entry. Some people have got a fair few entries. I'm not going to say who or how many, etc. But yeah, just comment Bitcoin on this post on X, on Twitter, spelt like that, and then you get another entry, and then you get an entry. All right. All good. Right. I'm just going to wrap it up. And if you can, like, comment, subscribe, share it about. That's that. And mainly just, yeah, I'll just cover, you can close it off now if you want, guys, but you might want to watch this as well. It's just the Dow Jones and SPX. So if we go to the, have I just spelled that wrong? I did. Jesus Christ. Go to the Dow. So that was actually down here, and we was mentioning all legacy set for new all-time highs. What yeah, what do you think? Obviously, Bitcoin's going to do, and this was back in November last year. And we actually showed a fair few things as well with the Nasdaq, and we was obviously marking all this out. This was all fucking beautiful. I wish I traded these, to be honest, but I simply just can't be bothered. But yeah, so what we've got, this is also going to be topping as well. You've got, oh fuck off. So you're going to be, so this is your wave 4 flat. Then you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, A, B, C, D, E, wave 4, wave 5, wave 4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you need 9 waves. So now you can obviously come up here. This is just the Dow. I'll just show the Dow for now, just because it was on that photo. So wave 1, running flat, wave 2, which is the most bullish flat. If you ever get a running flat, you really want to try and not make sure you miss the move. Do you know, it's actually very funny. I actually got stopped out of a Bitcoin long. Let me show. I really hope I've still got this in here. I'm going to show you this. It's quite poetic. I'm backing along now, but it's good, but it's not as good. Oh, 1 second. It was this as well. So, so we entered up here. We put a stop at 67k. Look where I got stopped out. Look at that, $150. Second I got stopped out, I even showed a post as well saying we're going to go up, and yeah, I ended up having to enter up here, but it's still a good trade. But yeah, this is a 6R, which I'd be in profit at about 99k. But yeah, I was probably just going to extend this and just keep it going. But yeah, it would have been a decent trade, probably a 15R. But anyway, we fucking move. Let me just go back to what I was showing. So DJI. But yeah, so you've got, if you come and look in here, you've got wave 1, wave 2. You've got another wave 1. This is probably a wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. See, this is where it gets tricky, right? Because you've got a wave 1. Then you've got a wave 2. Now this also isn't going to be a wave 1. This isn't going to be a wave. This is going to be a wave 1, wave 2. Then wave 1, wave 2. Then wave 1, wave 2. Then wave 3, 4. Then 5. This is also going to be going sideways up. But the issue with this chart, as opposed to everything else, is I'm just hoping that, I say I'm just hoping because the longer this goes on, the longer Bitcoin goes on, that somehow this also shows that this is like a wave 4, and then we're now into its final fifth of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, and this is also topping around the same time. Because if you go to the SPX, it's got something similar. Whereas you've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, wave 4, and then now you've also got wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, and then you've got wave 3, then wave 4, then 5, then 4, then 5. Again, if you've got 5 waves from this last low, because you've got 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then obviously you're extended a 9th here, this is also going to be showing probably an April top as well. But yeah, it's just going to be quite interesting just to really see where Legacy ends up. I do think eventually, though, I'm going to be making a video later on in the next year, just about what I think is going to be happening with this. I personally do think our credit system is going to fail. Everything's going to default. And honestly, I know this sounds a bit backwards, but I do think Bitcoin's going to be the only thing really that's going to be coming out of it. That, metals, and some other bits and bobs that I invest in as well outside of this, but I'll get to that later on, and some metals and stuff. But yeah, I think our credit system's going to fail. This can't just keep going up forever. This is fucking mental. And this is off log scale when you even come here, and 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 here. Like, this is mental. It can't just keep going on. So I do think once this last wave, this is your major wave 4 of a bull run that's been going on for 270 years. Again, it's a long story. I'd have to show. This is actually your wave 2, then wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and this is your wave 4, and this is your 5th. We're probably going to come down to about, we're probably going to come down to here. Probably around this area, into this box, probably around here at about $800. But again, I'll get to that in another video later on. But I do think our credit system is going to default and fail, and eventually Bitcoin is going to be the thing that's going to be coming out of it, because no one's going to be trusting anything else. Because we're going to go through something way worse than the 1929 and around the 30s. for the Great Depression. But yeah, Google the Great Depression anyway. But yeah, anyway, that's it. Peace. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know a lot of people are going to be shocked because I've actually fucking got it out. How long is it? Ooh, 45 minutes. What a fucking piss take. I've just wasted nearly an hour of your life. Jesus Christ. Do you know what? Fuck it. If you've stayed this long as well, you're going to get a second entry. You need to comment on YouTube. If you comment on YouTube and type, what word should we use? Comment on YouTube and just type dog in capitals. It has to be spelled like that. Nothing else has to be capitals. If you spell dog like that on YouTube, not on Twitter. So that is, again, if you do it on Twitter, you're not going to get an entry. You have to do that on YouTube. If you type in Bitcoin on X and Twitter and dog on YouTube, yeah, you'll get a second entry for the giveaway. But yeah, that's it. If you've got any other questions, just message me. But yeah, peace. And it makes it even better. Look at that. Again, A, B, C, D, E. What are we getting up to now, ladies? What are we getting up to now? We're getting up to the sideways up, triangles, just like we showed previously. Oof, that was poetic. Well done, Blunts, you fucking sick cunt. Love you lots. Fuck off.